Okay, we've done that. Now I've just measured out about 750 mils of, basically half, whatever you want to do, of polystyrene, and 700 of that sort of thing. I'm just going to mix the two, as you do. Okay, so we're going to go in there. Now, after we've mixed the two, I've gone my standard slit slot technology sort of thing, so but along the flat line rather than the groove, so that it fits flush with the soil, with the concrete or whatever you want to do, and also with your. So I'm just going to put that in there. Now, as I said, if you want to get polystyrene out there, put some damp sand to it, and you'll notice that if you put your damp sand in there, you'll get rid of the poly that's attached to the sides, whatever. You might have to do it a few times, but anyway, so just get some in there, and you'll find that most of your poly will come out, whatever container you want to do. So just going to mix this around. And we normally would add water to be about half the volume of the actual volume of the sand to put it down, but since we're adding this first, just going to make sure it's mixed up. Now I've calculated those 2 spoons of meat that in this size container. Again, it's going to be 2%. With the egg, it's about 25 mils. It's a little bit, about 2.5%. The sugar we put in there, the equivalent is about 4%, roughly. These things aren't set in stone, fellas, but everything's reproducible. You can just do it again, you know what I mean? That's the whole point. Keep doing it and doing it and doing it until something sticks or something stands out. And I do think we do need some water, but we can actually wash out the we said we're going to add about half of this, weren't we? Now we can actually use some of this to flush out the. Let's see how we go. Right. Always best to urge on the side of caution, because you can put the water in, but you can't take it out. A little bit more. Almost there. You could just about get away with it. Not quite, eh? And let me guess, that's shrunk down and it's not going to. There we go. We may have to do it all again. Let's see how far it goes, because I don't think that looks like it's shrunk down, fellas. That really does. Yeah. But it does look the same, so it's something. So, well, maybe it's best to first of all show that our water ideas are there, are pretty much on the money, and just see how far it comes up. So I think we can always do another load, fellas. We've got plenty of sand. And by the way, for polystyrene, use boogie boards. Buy a cheap boogie board in a $2 shop for under $5, and that makes up a good probably two 10-litre buckets worth of fine polystyrene in a good bottle. That's not bad for so you got 20 litres of fine polystyrene for about under $5 sort of thing, if you've got a cheap boogie board sort of thing. So yeah. Well, obviously our calculations are out, because that's not 1.5 litres. Oh, hang on. No, we were in 750 mils before, weren't we? Yeah, so we are all the same. So there you go. 750 mils. Our calculation should be, yeah, two spoons of meat in 750 mils. So yeah, everything's the same. So, so I'll just pull that out. Is it dripping? Not quite, you see. That's the slit slot technology. You think everything's going to fall out? No. So anyway, we'll see how we go. And that's probably way too much for that sort of 750 mils. But we'll see what happens if it burns through. Whether as the meat degrades. Well, first of all, does the meat degrade with all that amount of sugar there? And same with the egg. Or is it they're going to slowly degrade, or is it going to burn faster because we've got a sugar source there, or a carbon source there that can degrade? And as they degrade, does the sugar combine with the meat and the egg protein and become like a sweet meat humus in the soil? A different sort of soil is not a salty soil bacon, but a sweet soil bacon, a sweet meat soil bacon, which then the CPs can attack by taking out the sugar. Because they're glycophytes, they take the sugar out, and attached to the sugar is all the minerals and all the nitrogen they want. And there's this duopoly between iron and nitrogen. In the other plants, to keep the colour, you add the iron, but with these plants, they need the nitrogen that's in the attached in the sort of sweet meat sort of thing. Is that the difference between CP weeds and CPs? CP weeds need the iron to keep that green colour, whereas our CPs need the nitrogen that's trapped in this like sweet meat sort of form in the soil, and they extract it by actually extracting the sugar. That's why they pump themselves up with glucose, because it's a reducing sugar. It copes with the copper. Is that the copper connection there? They don't seem to be able to handle the copper, but we found that there is a source of copper we can put in there that doesn't seem to affect them too much, sort of thing. Anyway, we'll see how we go, but you know, it's a try, fellas. Over and out. See ya.